I'm going to greet you as we do in our Sikh religion. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Means the purity belongs to the holiness, and being pure is the victory in life. And I'm already overwhelmed with the music and with the lyrics that I was reading while I was listening. My heart is already filled with compassion and all that. Thank you very much for making me part of this gathering today. Today, I'm going to talk about Sikh religion. And while I was listening to the music, I didn't know what else to say. It was all there in the lines that I was reading. Still, I'm here to talk about, so I'm going to talk about. The first teacher's name was Guru Nanak. He had a mission to bring people together as one. For that, he started, it's like the sign that is one at the first, and then you can say earth, waters, and the universe. That's all one, and it came from one. So we are all the children of one, okay? So that was his message that he started when he was born in 1469. And he first, I will not say first, but 25 years of his life, he traveled all over the world, almost 20,000 miles on foot, on camel ride, donkey ride, boat, or whatever means were available during that time to take this message to the world. So Sikh religion is, if I will say, that probably is the first religion of interfaith. I was president of Interfaith. I was listening from different religions. I attended different talks from different religions. Then I realized that yeah, Sikh religion was the first interfaith religion, because the holy book that we called our 11th teacher, total we had 10 teachers who lived and their life, and the last 10th teacher died in 1709. And then he appointed, or they collected all the writings from the first 6 teachers who wrote in poetry. So everything is written in poetry and rhythm. There are 36 people whose writings are included into this holy book that we call the Guru. Only 6 teachers have written in that, and the rest of the writings are from all different religions, who also talk about one God. The mission was that they have to be talking about one God. Only then they will be included into the holy book. So we have all other saints and different writers from different religions. So we give them the equal status as we give to our holy teachers. So that is, I feel, it's interfaith, right? So the start of his teaching start from that we are from one. Manas ki jaat sab hai, ek hi pehchan lo. Manas means humans. Human race should be identified as one. Doesn't matter if you're black or white or any child or adult or male or female or whatever different divisions you have, we are all one human being, and we should be treated as human beings. Don't look at somebody, oh, she's a female, I should be treated her differently. He's a male, or he's a child, or he is an elderly person. No, we are all same. Give them equal respect and treat them equally. So that is the first part. Any handicap or anybody, all should be treated same. So that is the basic principle of Sikh religion. Don't be judgmental about anybody. You don't have any right to judge another person. Leave that person to them what they want to be. The it was very interesting then when I was preparing for this talk, then I started thinking about mind. These days we talk about mindset. It's a game of mind. And Guru Nanak was talking in 15th century about that. Actually, the mind word into English came a little later, maybe 1800 or something, but it was already in Eastern cultures because most of the time we relate that to conscious. Or in Western world, I can say soul. What is conscious? Our conscious is the place which is not another organ in our body, it's our thinking. And say, Guru Nanak said, Man jeete jag jeet. And first thing he said, Hyon kahitae manak sab amul me. Never shatter anybody's heart. They're like precious gems on this earth. Treat everybody valuable. Don't dare to shatter anybody's heart. So that was his message. Then he said, Man jeete jag jeet. If you will win somebody's heart or your own heart, your own mind, think yourself you have won the world. Because we relate with each other with the mind, with the heart, with love, affection, compassion. So, mind is not always guiding you to the right direction. It can also guide you to the wrong direction. Mind can be your source to connect to the holiness. Mind can also be who can create hatred, divisions in the society. It can take away from that path. So you have to very selectively, you have to understand your mind and tame your mind. This is another thing Guru Nanak said. Your mind is like a wild horse. You have to tame the horse, and you have to keep that mind into the line through meditation. Then what is meditation? Sometimes you think meditation is, you think about a guru, you think about some object, and you keep that in your eyes or in your heart, and you meditate on that. Or you take certain name, you can say God, Allah, Om, or Omkar, or Vaheguru, whatever you want to say, and keep on chanting on that, and that will be meditation. That is not meditation. Meditation is when you go inside yourself, recognize yourself from inside, beyond the boundaries outside, and connect that inner side to the holiness, and connect yourself and sit in silence 5 minutes every day, 10 minutes every day. Realize who you are, why you're here, what are you doing. And slow down your thought process in that. Don't let your brain run to one direction to the other direction. And it will take probably some time, but you will be able to connect with yourself. The day you will connect with yourself, you will connect to God, and that will be your meditation. And that means you have tamed your horses, and wherever you are, you're working in the kitchen, you're doing some sewing or knitting or something, and you're still connected with God. You're doing seva. Seva means helping other people. You're doing seva in the community, and you still will be connected to the oneness. Your heart will be always filled with compassion. So through the meditation, we tame our mind. So very carefully, Guru Nanak warned us that our mind has 5 enemies or thieves, which will take away our spirituality. And in our language, we say Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar. Lust is the first one. It's never ending. So you always have to control yourself on that. Anger. A lot of times you get angry for no reason, and sometimes you create a reason to be angry. I remember those days when my children were young, and I have to tell them something, and I was mad on something that they did wrong or something. Then I will make myself angry on that, And I knew inside that I was not angry, but I have to pretend to be angry and go and talk to them. And then sometimes even I have to really get angry and scold them more than I wanted to. Then I will go in the room and cry myself. Why I did that? Why I had to do that? Being a mother is not an easy job. You all know that, right? So angry also, it's for good, but it's also for bad. You don't need to be angry. Now I have to raise my children again, then I will not be angry at all. And then home or the ego. Ego is another one which create a problem when you have ego, then you don't look at people on the same level. You feel you're better. Your religion is better, your clothes are better, your car is better, your house is better, your job is better, you have more money, you are more beautiful, more and more and more from other people. That is ego. When you think that, oh, there are better people than me in this world. And if I have more, then I will share with my neighbor. I will be Samaritan, right? So I will share with my other people, my neighbors, other people. So doing seva is very, very important in our religion. So we say work hard, work honestly, and share with other people. Okay? So you always share with other people. So how we look at the world, how we feel the compassion for people, as I said, through the meditation. And sometimes with controlling the mind, we believe that mind can be a source of spirituality, as I said, and it can take care of the human. So disciplining ourselves. So there are discipline in life, what you are supposed to do and what you are not supposed to do, how you live in the family, how you respect others, elders, and love the children. And that is a discipline that you follow through your mind too, because that is also mindset. That's what we are taught. And when we talk about this, we create, through the meditation, we created divinity in our hearts. And when we are talking about that Guru Nanak traveled almost 20,000 miles in the world to take the message, the reason for that was because there were so many people in the world during that time, 15th century, you all know, that who were invading India, and their main purpose was to convert people into Islam, because that was the thing happening that time, and that was more profitable for some people. And so they will invade time to time. You can say that people of India who were living with the religion, the famous religion that during that time was Buddhism, Jainism, Hinduism, they all were very peaceful religions, and you don't kill anybody, or you live with peace, and all kind of non-violent religions. So people, and also there was another religion that was very prominent, was you have to search for God in the forest. So people will leave the houses and go into the forest, become yogis. You heard the word yogi, I'm sure. They will become yogis, and they will go into the forest and live there, and they will come back and take alms from people who are living in the villages, and then go back into the forest and do their meditation, yoga, and all these things. So what was happening, the males are going into the forest and the invaders are invading the country. There's nobody to protect the females. So they will come and take away the females and take back and sell them into the Middle East for pennies. So this was happening. This was the situation at that time. So Guru Nanak went to those deras of the yogis where they were living and told them that this is not the path of God. You are responsible for the everyday life of other people who belong to you. Your parents, you are supposed to take care of your parents, your families. So by teaching them that we are all one and you have to come back, so he brought them back into the society again so they could protect their families. So he was teaching that you have to protect your families. Don't sit and wait for that the kings are going to come or your gods and goddesses are going to come to protect you. You have to protect yourself. So that is the main basic Sikh religion is you have to protect yourself. You should not be dependent on anyone else to protect you from anything. So so he brought them back and also taught them about the dogma of the religions, the different rituals, like how you show from outside you become something, but inside you are not. Like a lot of people will wear the signs outside and say, like they put a dot on the forehead and say, oh, I'm Hindu. But if you haven't learned about Hindu religion and you're not living the way the Hindus live, the dot is not going to do anything. Any clothes, any rituals, any uniform you can wear, if you're not in that from inside, you cannot claim that I'm a Muslim or I'm a Hindu. And same thing about the yogis, like they wore the clothes, and he said, yeah, you wore the clothes and you came to the jungles, and then you go back and you're dependent on people who work hard and grow the grains and then make food and give it to you. You're dependent on them and you're discarding them. So what kind of religion is that? So he brought them back again for telling them that live in the world. His message was, Anjan man Ranjan Rayu. Yes, the world is full of darkness. The world is full of bad things or bad, you can say, killing each other. A lot of bad things are happening in the world. That doesn't mean that you will run away from them. Like a lotus flower, you will live or you will grow in a dirty water, muddy water, but when you grow, you are beautiful. No dirt can actually stop on your petal because lotus flower is like the petals are so slippery that if you put water or dirt on it, it will slide away. So it's beautiful white or light pink color flower that grows in the dirtiest waters. So he said, in living in the world, you have to live a life of helping the community. Helping the community is actually the real being holy. Real part of being holy is that you take care of the community around you. So then there were a lot of people, when the Islam started coming into India, because the Hindus had a very strict caste system. We had a caste system. That means the upper class was treated really high and the lower class didn't have any rights. All the rights were in upper class. So the lower class was not supposed to be educated. They will never let them go into the schools. They were not allowed to listen to any or read any religious books or any sermons. They were not allowed to attend the mandirs or the temples. And so they were kept aside, uneducated, so they didn't want them to be educated. So they didn't want them to come and question them anything. So they kept them miserable, I will say. So when Islam came and Islam gave them promise that we will treat you equally, so they were very happy to adapt Islam. So a lot of people adapted Islam at that time. And so now when the people from Middle East will come and invade, these people also join them to loot the other people, get the wealth from other people, so they could do whatever they wanted because now they belong to the invaders. So it changed the kind of the face of India, and so people start questioning, like, are we doing right? So the Guru Nanak also gave the message that there is no caste, no creed, nothing. We are all one. So everybody should be entitled for everything, for education, coming to the temples. They can be priests. Anybody could be priest, female, male, or any caste. And so that was a big thing that a lot of people followed him for that reason. He wanted to create that in India, so nobody could come from outside to India to love them. So Indian people should love their lower caste, and they should accept them, adapt them as they were part of the same community. So that was also another message that was also changing the mindset, that even though, like right now, there are a lot of people in India, they still believe in the caste system, but most of that is abolished now. So there were other things like that, so that he was talking and trying to educate people that these things are not important in any religion. Doing all these rituals is not going to make you spiritual. You will never go to close to God by doing these things. So if you want to be close to God, you have to look into nature. And nature is the best resource or best presentation by the God that is put right in front of us if we want to feel the God. So when you look into the nature, and as in his writings, he's saying that he has given the same mechanism starting from an ant to an elephant. He put the same mechanism in a little tiny miniature form in an ant and a larger form in an elephant. And he made food for every creature according to his or her needs. So we have to understand how God is working. And when we're living in this world, we have to think about how a little seed can be changed into a big tree right in front of our eyes. We can see that. Yeah, we cannot see the God, but we can see the energy of God which is prevailing into every little creature in this world. And we look at, there are two seeds we put like 6 inches apart. One is, you can say bitter gourd or bitter fruit, and the other one is watermelon. So you put 6 inches apart, and the seed know exactly what to get out of the earth and how to grow and what kind of fruit they are going to produce. So what can be more miraculous than this one? We are looking for miracles. This is the miracle happening right in front of our eyes. Little tiny speck of sperm comes into the body, change into a human being, and we live here for 60, 70 years after that. That is a miracle. How it survived through that time, how we survived. And if you read more closely now, watch the science, more and more things you will learn. Other day I was reading that the first thing, if it's a female child, the first thing that will be made from the sperm to the, when it change or become fertile, is the egg. So we are 80, 90 years away, but we were already born in our mother's womb when she was even getting ready to be born. Isn't that a miracle? So how many miracles do we need to understand that God is living in this world with us all the time? And we need to open our hearts, and we need to feel God right here with us. And time to time, why I pick this topic is that all these years we are passing through a time where it was the necessity of any religion to be protective. So we were meeting into closed areas, certain tribes, certain countries, certain, you can say, the living areas where we had a church, or synagogue, or a temple, or a gurdwara. People to keep their people together, they could talk about anything. They could tell how bad the other church is, how bad the other temple is, or other gurdwara is. I'm not pointing out to any other one religion. I'm telling you, sharing with you the general perception is that, okay, keep these people with us, do everything to keep them here. So sometimes these people created hatred for other people. But now we have cell phone in our hands. We know that everybody is not bad. Only certain people are bad. Sometimes we say, oh, this particular religion produced terrorism. Terrorists don't have any religion. They don't belong to any religion. If they will read one part of their own religion, they will not become what they are. So don't name them by the religion, name them by, you can say, certain group of people, certain organization who is teaching them that, but they are not from the religion. It does not come from any religion. We were talking about helping people. Our 10th teacher, all our teachers stood for human rights. If they had to fight with somebody, it was for the human rights. And Sikh religion is the religion who actually, one of our teachers, the 9th teacher, gave his life to save another religion. That might be only one example in the history that some teacher from one religion will go to save the other religion. That's a 9th teacher. And so it was not, human rights are important. Doesn't matter my human rights or your human rights. All people should get together for human rights. And there was, the 10th teacher has to had some few wars with the native, like Hindus and Muslims, who didn't want him to talk about against the caste system or about the human rights. And because it was on their benefit, like if he will not talk about that, so wanted him to leave the area and go. So they attacked him. And then they had the war, and means the 10th teacher has all the volunteers who were fighting for him. And so sometimes when they were fighting, and there was a person, his name was Kanaya, and his duty was that he is going to put the bandages on the wounded and give them water. So he will go, end of the war, he will go there and give water and bandages to all the people. He will not think about they are from the other side, or they're the Muslims or other attackers, or they're the enemies or anything. He will do for everybody. So people came and they talked to the 10th teacher and say, what is this? Like we fight with them whole day and we kind of wounded them, killed them. We think we are victorious. And this person comes and put bandages on them, give them water and make them alive again. So is it in our favor, or is it helping the enemies? So the guru said, okay, call him. So they called him, and he said, what are you doing? They are complaining about you. And he said, teacher, when I was there, they all look same to me. I see you into everyone. How could I say which is my enemy, which is my friend? They're all wounded, and my job is to cure the wounded. And he said, yeah, keep on. He said, take more bandages and take more water. Keep on doing what you were doing. So that is Samaritan again. Yeah, we can have a different opinion. We can have different goals, but meantime, we are talking to the community. They're all same to us. And so sometimes it's difficult to go above and beyond that, but the teachers actually lived their life. Jesus Christ lived his life to show us that it can be lived. Our teachers, they lived life, and they showed us, yes, it can be done. So that is the way that then we cannot say that, okay, it's not doable. They created miracles. We cannot create miracles. No, they didn't create any miracles. Miracle is happening in the nature. See that every day. They lived like us. They gave, the blood was real when it came out. Same blood. And think about that. And if you're standing for your rights, you're standing for your beliefs, then sometimes you have to stand up and stand there. Doesn't matter. Death doesn't mean anything. Okay? So this is mindset. We have to keep our mind open for everybody. Sometimes we have to review our own beliefs and thoughts and say, look into. It was very interesting that somebody asked me one time this question, and they said, do you believe in Jesus Christ? And I said, yes. And then he started asking me other questions. Then, do you believe in this? I said, I don't need to believe in anything else. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believed in his philosophy. I believe God sent him to this earth for us, for me. That is all I need. I don't need anything else. Whenever I need to connect myself to Jesus or to Guru Nanak, I will look into my heart. Whatever the message will be right here in my heart, in my mind, and I will read that. And he told me, then you are not going to go to heaven. And I said, well, if you have any plan to go to heaven, I will be there before you. So it is mindset, and I don't see any difference anywhere. I feel they were sent for particular area with the language, with the culture. So mostly religion came from the culture, little bit from the teachings of our prophet. So we need to separate the culture from the teachings and learn about the teachings, not about the cultures. So that will be my message today, and I hope I was able to deliver it right. And it's all mindset, accept everybody as it is. If you have any questions, I will be more than happy to answer any questions. Okay, otherwise I will say thank you very much for inviting me, and I really, really enjoyed every moment I'm here. Thank you very much.